me, that's my next challenge. I want to take a Thai company outside of Thailand, if possible.
Why is this?
There's no success cases of Thai company that is like established Thai product, but gone beyond the borders.
Okay, so now this is like the final part of the interview with the founder of Hungry Hub. So Hungry Hub is Thailand's #1 dining app for special occasions. So in this interview, you will learn more about the problems with investments and scaling globally for B2C apps in Thailand, and how they are eager to become one of the first success cases of a B2C app scaling globally.
The way we position ourselves today, we are like the OTAs for restaurant industry. So we are like the Agodas, the Booking.com, the Trip.com for restaurants.
The ratings too, right? Like
we have reviews, we have packages. So we are like a revenue driving engine for restaurants, dining. Like how food delivery is doing for the delivery business of the restaurant. No one is actually bringing in more revenue for the dine-in business. There is players that is helping with deals, and there are players that are helping with reservations, but there's no players that really boosting long-term revenue. Whereas players like Agoda, Booking.com is there to support the restaurant and the hotel industry. But the reason why no one has captured the restaurant industry is because there's no price tag.
I see.
How do we sell something online when there's no price tag? If you think about all these online travel agents, they are selling airlines because there is a price tag. Hotels, car rentals, activities, spas, all these things are being able to sell online to a tourist, but a restaurant is not able to sell tourists worldwide. There's no platform that is selling global restaurants.
Right.
And we feel like that's what's missing. So what we are plugging in is we are taking our deals and we're doing API and distributing it to third parties. So this year we're linked.
I see.
So we are currently, in the past, we only target our own marketing, we only target Thai consumers. But we have linked with OpenRice in Hong Kong. We're talking to Trip.com, KKday in Taiwan. KKday is also quite famous in Japan.
Yes, it's very famous.
Yeah, so we're linking our deals into KKday. So if tourists from like Japan, Korea come to Thailand, they can book directly on KKday, but it'll feed into Hungry Hub. So we give commission sharing. But they basically don't have to talk to the restaurants. They talk to us, and we are like an agency that sells for the restaurant. So we talk to players like Agoda in the long term, but they say they want us to be in multiple countries. Then they'll be interested to partner.
In the future, like what are your like goals? Like, are you planning to like exit as an enemy for M&A or IPO or like?
For me, I want to expand to another market first, at least. Like for me, that's my next challenge. I want to take a Thai company outside of Thailand, if possible.
Why is this?
There's no success cases of Thai company that is like established Thai product, but gone beyond the borders successfully, especially in the BtoC segment. I think that this has also caused a lot of discount in valuation and make a lot of international investors not having trust in Thai founders. For me, I personally have such a big problem trying to fundraise because there's the past founders that promised expansion never did it. If I can fix that taboo, that which I think there is a lot of qualified Thai founders, but it's a chicken and egg. You don't have the money, how do you go abroad? But you don't get the money because you never went abroad.
Right.
You get it?
Yeah, of course.
But like if someone can break that and go abroad by using that profits to grow, then the rest will get more support to grow easier.
Like, why do they not go outside of their country? Like,
Because I think a lot of Thais are very, this is again my personal opinion, I think they're very comfortable. They like things easy. So and Thailand has never been colonized. Yeah, so Thai people have never dealt with a lot of hardship, but it's mainly the people who make it here very big are migrants, Chinese migrants,
Yes.
or Thai or Indian migrants actually are in the top business of the country. If you look at the top 5 or top 10, they're all like Chinese migrants into Thailand. It's not see like a Thai that has been like.
Right.
I'm generalizing.
Yeah, of course.
Of course, not everyone, but this is what the mentality is like. Savings, because like usually migrants are the ones that work hard, save money. They want their kids to not suffer what they went through, and so that's the mentality of almost all immigrants that move to a new country because they don't know what's their hardship gonna be tomorrow.
You have Singapore, and Thai people, they speak decent English, I think. Like,
Not much.
but some founders, they
I
do.
know most founders can, but
Yeah.
it's not about the language. But I think it's that many of them have not been exposed living abroad. They've not been like worked abroad, so they've just been like in their country. And Thai, like I said, if you are a Singaporean, like you've been very like you always know that your country is too small. So from day one you have to think outside, otherwise there's no money.
Right.
And Thai people are not hungry. They don't have that eager, that drive to become big. They're just like, as long as I can afford myself, I'm okay.
But you are, right?
I don't care about the money angle,
Yeah.
but I'm trying to change that perception that you can. And it's not easy, but obviously I believe there's something in me that, with my experience of living abroad many years, with my experience at the school, I'm also teaching and mentoring a lot of startups. So and I've done this for 9 years.
Oh, really? Wow.
So the startup has been 2014 till now, 2023, 9 years. So it's not. I think that I've been exposed to enough to be able to push this beyond Thailand.
Do you speak with like investors in Singapore, for example?
Yeah. Spoken to a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've been to Singapore many times. Fly there or have calls. Like
Then I guess you do have like a huge chance of getting money and doing business there. Right?
I mean, once we expand there, I don't have doubts that we will be able to raise. It's just a matter of like, we need to make sure that the money here is safe and strong. That we have enough set aside to expand. We actually have Singapore Tourism Board reached out to us and signed an agreement with us that they will co-invest 50-50 for us to promote to Thai consumers for Singapore restaurants.
Oh, really? Okay.
because
Because
the
they have
tourism board, they want the Thais to come to Singapore and they want them to spend at the restaurants. So if Hungry Hub has already acquired those restaurants and able to track the sales, then it's very easy to see whether we are successful or not.
Is this like a Singapore's like government fund? Or
Yeah, Singapore government fund.
Wow, very interesting.
Yeah, so they've already set aside X amount of budget for us, but it's only based on when we invest and only towards tourists coming into Singapore, which is Thai. We already have the Thai market. So it's just promoting that we are in Singapore to our Thai customers and they will give us 50% cash back for that marketing.
Is that already confirmed? Or?
Yeah, it's pending. We are registered in Singapore already. We actually hired 2 people on the ground in Singapore and then we reversed the decision.
So what year are you thinking to like expand?
I think initially we wanted this year, but because this year the whole funding market has been dry.
Yeah.
So next year I assume. I want to make sure that when we are ready to expand, 3 months after we expand or 6 months after we expand, we have money that will come in. Because this year, even though we expand, the investors are like still shaky. So.
So you're not really thinking of like exiting or anything. That's not really in your mind.
I mean, if there is a nice opportunity that is aligned with our vision, then I'm open to it. But it's not like something. I think like my next challenge, like I mentioned to you, it's more about getting this company beyond Thailand.
Wow. Okay.
I think that's that's what I would like. But obviously, if there's a better entity that can help us scale there much faster and it's aligned with our mission, then maybe we'll exit.
Yeah, because like for food companies like Food Story or like Wongnai, they've already like exited for like M&A, but like you don't think it's ideal or?
No, I think it's okay. I think M&A is a good thing.
Yeah, for sure.
I think at one point we will also look into that, but I think it's just a matter of when the deal is right. Like it's just.
Are you invested by venture capital or?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They don't force you to be like exiting or?
But like I said, because we got our first investment about 4 years ago, so it's not at the point where they're closing the fund or anything yet.
I see.
It's not be like a 10-year race. So
okay, so maybe
in a few years.
Were you always interested in like the food industry or?
I never thought about it before I started, but food is everyone's favorite, right? When I interview someone like, why do you apply here? Like, we love food. Like, of course, everyone. So it's very easy to use as a point to connect to people, but it has its downside. Like restaurant business is a very high turnover business, and it's like a cash business. So there's a lot of like, there's no structure, and there's no standardization. And like for example, if you ask me, who do you approach in a restaurant as to sell your product? It can be the owner, it can be the manager, it can be a marketing, it can be like operations manager, it could be anything. And because every restaurant structures that thing very differently, right? Versus like in a corporate, when you're selling something to certain corporates, you always go to like a procurement, or you go to very clear HR, you go very clear who's your buyer, But in a restaurant industry, it's very, very difficult. So, and sometimes they're just not very ethical as well. Like they can do whatever they want. They need to survive, right?
Oh, wow.
So like they want to, for no reason, they can just say, I don't want to accept your customers anymore.
Yeah.
And like the customer who made a booking didn't make anything wrong. He didn't do anything wrong, but the customer suddenly get mad at us and why I arrive at the restaurant and they're like, they don't want to accept, even though we have an agreement and a contract. But who are you gonna go chasing down for like a $50 meal to try to get money back from the restaurant? They already created a negative experience in the customer's mind.
Right.
So it's like dealing with these kind of things that is very, very annoying. But it's part of the fun. I mean, there is also a lot of fun with food, right? So you get to try new things. You get some experience that I think it's hard to replicate.
Yeah, I'm sure you know a lot of these places now, the restaurants here in Thailand.
Yeah, so I get calls from all my friends who sometimes haven't spoken to me in years, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I know why you're calling me." Cut to the chase. What restaurants do you recommend me? My wife's birthday is coming.
Yeah, that was really fun. Well, Japanese companies, I'm sure like some are like really interested in expanding to Southeast Asia and even in Thailand because it has a big GDP. Like, what's like a good way to like network and have like business relations in Thailand for a foreigner?
There's a lot of actually startup events in Thailand. Depending on each industry you're in, there's probably like, I think first of all, like you can randomly reach out to founders, and founders in general are very helpful because of what experience they've gone through. They obviously don't want the other guys to go through the same. So I think reach out to founders who are in that industry, at least who are not your competitor, to like just understand the industry a little bit more and get to know what networking events are happening. Like there's always like at least 2 to 3 in a month. Obviously in different groups there. With expats there's probably more. With local Thais maybe a little bit less. The event that is probably the biggest in Thailand is Texas. So I think that's a good way to start if you are coming to Thailand. If you want to get to know the whole industry, get to meet people, get to network, build like base. I would say that's a good event to like anchor based on. Yeah, and then there's you need to come with what's your unfair advantage, right? What because you have some weakness, you don't know the language, you don't know, but if you have something that is solid, whether it's your technology or it's, validate that before setting up a company, right? Not all the needs are the same amongst every country.
Just like the
Like me spending 3 years trying to fix what I thought was
very inspiring.
Yeah, so I think validate, it can take maybe 1 month maximum, but you should have.
What I actually heard was like connecting with like the government is very important in Thailand. Is that true? No?
I don't have any connections with any
Oh, really?
governments. Depends on what you do, but I don't think no one wants to work with the government in Thailand. And they're happy that the government don't support them. Just don't mess with them.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
They
I'm
don't.
not saying governments are bad, but I'm just saying that they're very slow. Don't bank on partnerships to run your business. You gotta run on your own. I think one of the ways to expand is through acquisition. Acquire someone small within that industry. It doesn't necessarily have to be the same business, but maybe you can use their customer base to jumpstart the team to jumpstart.
Okay. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Well, thank you so much. It was very nice having you.
Yeah, likewise.